Happy Monday, boys and girls. So today we are going to be reading a nonfiction book. I'm going to be reading you this book, Ferris Wheels. And in a nonfiction book, we are going to be on the hunt for some special features that you really only find in nonfiction books. And then not all nonfiction books have all of these features all of the time, but they're really important. They help the reader kind of stay organized and maybe understand the topic a little bit more. So when I'm reading today, I want you to help me find these features. So if you notice the table of contents tells you the different maybe topics within the main topic and then what page to find them on. So maybe if you were reading a story about animals, one might be what they eat, another page might be where they live or what they look like. The glossary is usually at the end of the book, and that's where you have a lot of keywords that will be usually our vocabulary words. Those words may be underlined or in bold or in different colors within the book. And the glossary is basically just a dictionary and gives you the definition of those words. We're going to look for that today. And then we're going to look for a heading. A heading is kind of tells you what that page is going to be about. So usually the heading is in different size font. It might be even a different style font. It might be a different color. And it's really big and it kind of you draw your eyes to that page so you know exactly what's going to be on that page. All right, keywords. So these are those words that you'll find in the glossary and they're important. So they're either going to be bold, they might be in italics, or they could be in color. It kind of depends on the book. So you might find books that are just bold words or just italics or just color, or a mixture of both. And those are those important words. They're vocabulary words. You might not know those words right away. Maybe they're tricky to figure out how to read them. And then the definition of those words are in that glossary that would be at the back of the book. We're also going to be looking for illustrations or photographs. We're going to be on the hunt for some captions. Now, a caption is information under a picture that just tells you more about the picture. And then we're going to be looking for labels. So a label really just, if there's different parts to a picture, it might just label each part. So we're reading about Ferris wheels, maybe the different parts of the Ferris wheel will be labeled. If we were reading about animals, maybe the different parts of the animal would be labeled. And then last you're going to be looking for today is a map. Okay, so these are the features that you're going to be looking for today. And as I'm reading, I'm going to be going to my scavenger hunt. This is what you're going to be working on when you're done. So when I'm done reading my book, you're going to go off and find a nonfiction book that you're going to read too. So I have this nonfiction text feature scavenger hunt. And all those different components, all those different parts that we just went over are right here. So we have table of contents, heading, bold print or the keywords, captions, photographs, labels, maps, and a glossary. All right, and as I find these features in my book, I'm going to kind of check it off on my page here. And you'll do the same thing today when you go off to read. All right, let's get started. All right, Ferris wheels. All right, Ferris wheels. What do you see? Table of contents, you're right. So here is the table of contents. So we're reading about Ferris wheels. So just the different maybe topics that we'll read about Ferris wheels and then the page number. So I'm going to go back to my nonfiction. And I'm just going to put a Y for yes that I found it. I was playing around with this before, and the word yes doesn't quite fit without having to move the box, so just a Y is fine. And you can change the color if you'd like, if you want to make it brighter color or something. And all right, ready? Let's keep going. Up, up, and around. Could this be a heading? I think so. The Ferris wheel turns. Its riders are lifted toward the sky. They feel like they are flying. A Ferris wheel is a ride made of a big wheel that spins. Cars for riders are attached to the rim or edge of the wheel. Ferris wheels can be found in amusement parks, fairs, and carnivals. I'm also noticing that this amusement parks is a different color. I see a heading over here, so I'm going to go over heading. Hmm. Okay, so I had a heading, so I'm going to do Y for yes, so I found a heading. All right, so I'm looking for bold print, captions. I'm thinking that maybe this is my bold print, but I'm going to keep reading just to be sure. A Ferris wheel is held up by towers. Spokes, oh, here's that kind of the different font again, lead from the middle of the wheel to its rim. They make the wheel strong. Some Ferris wheel cars are small and open. Others have a roof and glass sides. These big cars can hold many people. So I'm thinking that those are my keywords or my bold words. And here down here, here's a caption, Carnival Ferris wheels. These are the Ferris wheels you'd find at a carnival. I'm going to call this a caption because it's not really labeling. This text talked about all the different components of a Ferris wheel, like the tower or the spokes and the cars, but they're not labeled. If they were to label all those parts on this photograph, that's another one of our features, then that we can call that a label. This is a caption. So I found a lot just in this one page. So all right, so I found a caption, yes. I found some bold prints, yes. Remember, just a Y for yes. And I also found some photographs, yes. I have not found labels yet. Did not find a map, and the glossary, not yet, but the glossary I know is at the end of the story, so we didn't get there yet. Before riding most Ferris wheels, you have to be measured to make sure you are tall enough for the ride. The wheel stops with a car at the bottom to let you on. On most Ferris wheels, a lap bar is fastened over you. Then the wheel begins to turn. Most Ferris wheel rides last 3 to 10 minutes. As a Ferris wheel turns, its cars sway. The ride is gentle, but it is exciting to be so high. Some Ferris wheels glow with colorful lights. Some kinds of Ferris wheels are wilder. A double Ferris wheel has 2 wheels on a large beam that turns. On sliding Ferris wheels, some of the cars slide from the rim of the wheel to its center. Here's a double Ferris wheel. You would not find Mrs. Siegel on this Ferris wheel, that's for sure. And this word up here, some, this is not a heading. A lot of times in some books, you'll just notice that the first word is maybe a bigger print or a different style print just to kind of make it more interesting, but it does not mean it's a heading. In the 1600s, people in Europe built small wooden pleasure wheels. They were turned by people. Later, engines were added. In 1893, George Washington Gale Ferris built a huge steel wheel in Chicago, Illinois. It could hold 2,160 people. After that, pleasure wheels were called Ferris wheels. Today, the world's tallest Ferris wheel is the Singapore Flyer in Singapore. It is 541 feet tall. An even taller Ferris wheel is being built in China. Here's another caption. This is the Singapore Flyer. The Big O in Japan is the tallest Ferris wheel without spokes. A roller coaster passes through its center. Every Ferris wheel is different, and every Ferris wheel can be a thrilling ride. And here's the Big O. One famous Ferris wheel. So this is a heading because it's going to tell me exactly what I'm going to be reading about on this page. I'm going to be reading about a famous Ferris wheel. The name, it's called the London Eye. The location is in London, England. The year opened in 2000, so that's before you guys were born. The height was 443 feet. The London Eye was built to celebrate the year 2000. This Ferris wheel's cars have a roof and glass sides. Each car can hold 25 people. Until 2006, the London Eye was the tallest Ferris wheel in the world. From the top, riders can see things as far as far as 25 miles away. All right, that's the London Eye. Glossary. Okay, so these are all should be our bold words that we might have seen in the text. So amusement park, that was the first one. Engines, Europe, Singapore, spokes, and steel. And if you noticed, the glossary, because it's kind of like the dictionary for the book, is in alphabetical order. All right, so I'm going to go back. I did not see any labels. So you know what? I am going to just put an N for no labels. And I did not see any maps. And you might find the same thing when you read your nonfiction book today. You might not find every single feature, and that's okay. Not every nonfiction book is going to have all of these features. If you start reading a book and you really only maybe find one or two, then maybe you can go find another book and just see if you find more. Your job today, though, is to pick a nonfiction book, either a book that you have at home, or you can explore Epic. I know we really haven't had a chance to do that yet. Everyone has a little icon with their name on it. You are going to use this classroom code, and it's in the assignment, so you don't have to write it down or memorize it. But it's this GZV3154. You're going to type that in when you go to log in. Let's see if I can. And then all right, so you're just going to go to students. You're going to enter that class code right there. And then you're just going to hit go. So let's say, so this GZV3154, GZV3154. And then you're going to find your name. Click on your name, and you're going to get to explore some nonfiction books. Okay. Have fun, and I can't wait to see what you have found and what you're reading. Great job, everybody.